The gospel narrative of the woman caught in adultery is often considered a wonderful story. It pits Jesus against the spokesmen of official religion, the scribes and the Pharisees. The conspicuous absence of the male offending party suggests to us that the scribes and Pharisees are not so much interested here in upholding the letter of the law as they are in showing Jesus up as a threatening alternative interpretive authority. The woman simply happens to be a useful means to this end, a point the narrator suggests by repeating twice that the woman was set in the middle of them, as if she were the terrain on which they would fight their battle with Jesus. It is as if the woman is not a person, but a thing, bait to set the trap. In 2022, Dylan Mulvaney began 100 Days of Girlhood, a series of video diaries published daily on TikTok. Speaking straight to the camera, the 25-year-old described her new life as a trans woman. She became an internet sensation. The beer company Bud Light, which was trying to move away from its blue-collar bro reputation and towards something more inclusive and Gen Z-oriented, asked Mulvaney to make a video with them. On April 1st, she posted a video of herself drinking Bud Light. It was a cutesy 60-second video, and it triggered what the Harvard Business School called one of the biggest boycotts in American history. Within days, there was an enormous and vitriolic public backlash from some on the conservative right, politicians, and even former Olympian and trans woman Caitlyn Jenner argued that Bud Light made a huge mistake by going too woke. The advert was seen as a symbol of a wider problem, the perfect example of wokenomics, as corporate brands try to wash their image with woke culture. It showed the dangers of marketing executives taking sides, trying to be on the right side of America's culture war and losing their original and loyal customers in the process. In the next few weeks, Bud Light's sales fell off its perch as America's best-selling beer. The total backlash is thought to have wiped nearly 16 billion euros off the value of the parent company. In John's Gospel, because of Jesus' intervention, there was no one left to accuse the woman caught in adultery or to initiate the horrible death by stoning that would have been the penalty. Dylan Mulvaney had to hire security. She received a bomb threat, lost jobs, and had photographers camped outside her home. She became suicidal. Mulvaney described her experience as follows: "The tidal wave of death threats was overwhelming. My desire to vanish into air was occurring multiple times a day." Mulvaney told her mom when she was 4 years old, "I think God made a mistake. He put me in a boy's body." Her mother replied, "God doesn't make mistakes. You are perfect the way you are." She describes her mother as grieving for the son she lost. In trying to understand the extreme response to her Bud Light beer video, Dylan speculates that extremists need a poster child, and they need an enemy to unite them. She adds, trans people are less than 1% of the population, and yet we are the ones so often talked about in horrendous ways. Jesus, in this weekend's gospel passage, in his engagement with the woman caught in adultery, holds together justice and mercy in a foundational act of love. Jesus offers a radical restoration of dignity to the woman in the gospel passage. He is not just a teacher, but a liberator. He subverts the patriarchal logic of punishment and instead invites a reflection on justice and mercy that transcends societal norms. Dylan Mulvaney was born on the internet, and it is where she nearly died. She describes herself today as half-healed. Just a few years ago, gender dysphoria, severe discomfort in one's biological sex, was vanishingly rare. It was typically found in less than 0.01% of the population, emerged in early childhood, and afflicted males almost exclusively. But now, whole groups of female friends across the world are coming out as transgender. Gender transition is one of the most controversial issues of our time, which means that many people just avoid the subject altogether. There are voices at ease with recent trends, and there are those that speak of irreversible damage. Jesus helps us to understand that love is the foundation of true justice. The Jesus way exhorts us to brim with compassion for a vulnerable subset of our population. Amen.